Hey everybody, and welcome to Chris's Monday Morning Breakfast Thoughts. As you may or may not know, I just came back from Thailand. Here's some proof. Hey everybody, I'm in Bangkok. Yep, I was in Thailand, and while I was there, a friend of mine gifted me some guava. This is guava. It kind of looks like an apple, and so this is going to be my breakfast today. But the interesting thing that's going to happen with it is in Thailand and in many parts of sort of Southeast Asia, they like to put this red salt on it. From what I understand, what I've been told is there is definitely sugar and salt in this, but my guess is that there's also something spicy. So for some reason, they like to make nice, sweet, yummy fruit sweeter, saltier, and spicier, which I don't quite understand, but this might turn into an episode of Chris, Why Would You Eat That? So let's find out. There's definitely a bit of heat in there. It is Thailand after all. They make everything spicier. So I'm going to do something really stupid here. Oh, the fruit helps cut down the spiciness. For sure, don't stick your finger if you don't like spicy food. It sort of works, but it sort of doesn't. I mean, guava's good on its own, so I don't really understand. This is good enough. I don't need fresh guava. Yummy. So let's talk a little bit about the news. So apparently, Coca-Cola has been investigating the idea of doing cannabis cola. I don't know if you know this, but in Canada, and there are several states in the United States, there is legalization of marijuana. And a lot of snack companies are sort of taking advantage of this. O. Henry in the past created has created this sort of limited edition 421 bar, I think it's called, or something. So it's supposed to be like, after you get the munchies bar. I think there's going to be a lot of sort of candy companies and food companies that are going to try and get into this. O. Henry bar, what they did is they created something that was supposed to like deal with the munchies after you've already dealt with it. It sounds like what Coca-Cola is doing is they're actually thinking of incorporating cannabis into the cola. So this could be something brand new. This is going to create a lot of controversy considering the U.S. federal government has a lot of really strict anti-cannabis laws. And we already know there's been a lot of reports about problems between the United States and Canada when it comes to this sort of thing. I know there's already problems in some states, and it's a really sort of weird gray area in the United States because technically, from what I understand, I'm no legal expert, but state law makes it legal, but federal law is always illegal. So to some degree, it's still sort of illegal within the United States, but not within its particular states like Colorado. So it's kind of a weird gray area. I don't really completely understand it, but it's interesting that now that it's becoming more and more sort of predominant, particularly in the North American market, candy companies and food companies are going to start trying to work with this and try and sell to this market. It's a fascinating thing. The other piece of news that's kind of interesting. Cadbury is apparently storing chocolate and sort of preparing itself for Brexit. Again, Brexit is about as complicated as cannabis laws within North America, but basically it involves the UK leaving Europe as far as its the trade rules that they have and everything like that. Cadbury is a big brand it's British based, but it's sort of found throughout Europe. You can find bars, and so it's one of those companies that's going to be really heavily affected by some of the new tariffs that are going to come up. And so I think they're trying to prepare. Apparently, they're stockpiling products and stuff like that before Brexit, so that way there isn't as much of a huge shock when all of a sudden Brexit happens. And I think in the UK, you're going to start seeing higher priced chocolates because some of the ingredients you need to bring in aren't necessarily going to be available in the UK. So that's another sort of interesting thing to look at. The other piece of news that's sort of hit the internet by storm is apparently Dunkin Donuts is going to lose the word donuts in its name. It's just going to be called Dunkin. Now, I was talking to somebody about this. I was actually talking to Allison about this, and we're not really sure why they're doing this. Is this? My only thought was maybe this is like people already call it Dunkins, and they sort of dropped donuts colloquially anyway. So there's maybe areas of the world where they just never call it Dunkin Donuts, and they just call we're just going to Dunkin's, or things like that. And they thought if we can shorten our name, it becomes a little bit easier for marketing, and maybe that's something to do. So if this is something, let me know. I mean, do you guys just call it Dunkin's, or I always knew it as Dunkin Donuts, but I'm also Canadian. We don't have Dunkin Donuts. We have Tim Hortons, far superior. So it's just something I'm not used to. I see Dunkin Donuts when I'm traveling a lot, so I don't know if even in places like Asia and Europe they're going to be, where there are Dunkin Donuts, if they're going to drop it as well. But it'll be something interesting to see. It's an interesting marketing thing, and I imagine they're going to rebrand everything about that as well. So that'll be kind of fascinating. So what's going on with the site, you say? Well, we got some new reviews while we were in Thailand. We got some lasagna chips. I got a new flavor of Kit Kat, which I seem to always find in Thailand. This is the Duo milk tea flavored. And some lady gave me some fish strip things while I was at a grocery store, which are apparently really hot. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to review these or if I'm going to make it an episode of Chris, Why Would You Eat That? Or maybe both. But I'm a little terrified of this one. The other two I'm really excited to try. This one I'm absolutely flat out terrified to try. So we'll see what happens with that. As always, you can check our new reviews. We generally post reviews on Mondays and Thursdays. Over the next little while, though, we won't be, because we're going to be traveling a lot. We're going to be going all over the place. We've got travel days planned so much over the next little while, mostly around Asia, and we're hoping to find some new snacks. I'm going to talk, but we're still also doing updates on Candy Critic a little bit. We're doing redesigns and everything like that. But the big thing is, for the next few months, we're going to be traveling quite a bit. And we're hoping that you can follow along, because you can always, talking about our social media. If you follow us on Facebook and Twitter, you can make sure that you follow all our adventures while we're traveling. We're often posting as we're going, and we're finding new and interesting things. Good example is in Thailand recently. On my last trip a couple days ago, I've discovered that there's this thing called a black volcano pizza at a pizza company, which is a popular brand in Asia. And I decided to try one. So we actually have, I'm going to write a blog about our experiences trying the Thailand volcano pizza. If you were following us on social media, though, you would have already known that I discovered this thing, and maybe we'll have cool other foods and cool stuff we find as we're traveling. So make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. As always, you can follow us on Patreon as well. On Patreon, you get all our videos in advance. You get all of our cool stuff. You get discounts. We have a t-shirt we just put out. The patrons got first grabs at it, and they got a discount. So we got some more t-shirts coming up probably in the next month or two. And as always, patrons will get the first grabs, and they'll get a discount on it. So make sure to do that. Probably with the discount alone. If you just give us $1 a month, you'll probably save money with the discount alone if you're interested in getting any of our t-shirts. So thanks for watching another episode of Chris's Monday Morning Breakfast Thoughts, where I'm freshly arrived from Thailand and off on another adventure pretty soon. Make sure to follow us as much as you can on all our social media. And just remember, we're going to be traveling a bit, so this video is going to be completely might just be done on my tablet real quick for the next couple of weeks every now and then. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.